What was the most interesting reaction that you ever got? Or like, was there something where people just immediately listened because of your size and stature?
Yeah, normally when I pulled up and got out of the car and they saw me,
it was like, all right, I'm good. My hands are where you can see them.
Everything's okay. Y'all, we ain't doing nothing here.
I love it. I love it, man. What's up, guys? Hope you all are doing well. I am here with none other than Mr. Ronnie Coleman, 8-time Mr. Olympia, and he has been kind enough to have us in his gym here in Florida. So this is a real treat.
Buddy.
How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Hey, what about you?
I'm doing amazing, man. I mean, this is surreal.
We are glad to have you in the house.
I love it.
I hope you enjoying yourself and having a great time.
It was awesome. I walked in the door. You guys got a video playing and saying welcome, which is very, very kind.
We want everybody to feel as welcome as possible.
This is great, man. This is it's a beautiful place you got down here, but
we've been here for a little while.
That's awesome, man. And you've had I'm imagining pretty good growth.
Oh yeah,
like with your supplement line and everything.
Every year it gets a little bit bigger.
That's awesome.
A little bit better.
That's great.
And a few more products.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful, man.
Right now we are right up at 30 some products. Ain't no problem telling how many SKUs we got with that. Probably almost 50 now.
Because of all the flavors and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
So it's moving right along, and it's moving right along real good.
That's awesome, man. What year did you start that?
We started that in 2011. So,
11, okay.
We're probably going out on about 11, 12 years now.
That's great.
And every year it gets better and better.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
As long as it's getting better, you can't ask for nothing more.
No, absolutely. You can't ask for anything more.
We are truly blessed here.
I love it.
Truly
I love it, man. Well, I'm happy for you, brother.
Oh, man, we worked real hard to get here.
Yes. Well, nothing worth having comes without hard work, you know.
A lot of hard work.
Yes. Speaking of hard work, right? your 8 Olympia titles.
Yep.
You finished up competing what year?
My last year was
2007. 7.
Yep.
And you were going pretty hard from what, 98?
Probably the 98 to 2007 was probably my most successful years.
Yeah.
I won my first Olympia in 98.
Yep.
And I won my last one in 2005.
See, that's awesome. So, and it was 8 in a row.
8 in a row, yeah.
8 in a row, which is incredible. Yeah.
Can't beat that.
So let me ask you this. Out of all of those years, which one for you was your favorite physique that you brought to the contest?
It's going to be 98.
And why?
Because that's the one where I had that thickness that was real compact.
Yes.
Lines were on point, and the conditioning was spot on.
It's crazy you're saying 98. So that first one.
Yeah, that first one. Yeah, that first one. I still look at that first one and kind of bring tears to my eyes.
That's amazing, man. I mean, looking back, is there a reason you think it was? Like, I mean, every year were you trying? I'm imagining you were trying to replicate that.
Yeah,
bring that same package.
But it, just like with anything, time progresses.
Yeah,
it doesn't stand still. And when time progresses, so does everything else.
Yeah,
body doesn't stand still.
Sure,
it progresses or degresses. And luckily for me, it was progressing.
Yeah.
Degressing, you're going backwards, and ain't too much good than going backwards.
Yeah. Did you expect to win it that year in '98?
No. I don't know. I'm quite sure you remember me telling you this. The reason why I got into bodybuilding is for a free membership to the gym,
which is that's such a cool story, man. Yeah, for anybody that hasn't heard that, Brian Dobson, right?
Yep.
Brian Dobson, Metroflex, in Texas. Brian was like, "Hey, I'll give you a free membership
to the gym
if you'll enter a bodybuilding contest."
Yep.
And you were reluctant, right?
Yeah, because where I'm from, nobody competed, you know. Nobody. We ain't know nothing about bodybuilding. And then there were no magazines or nothing, you know, where I'm from. And nobody never talked about it. Nobody never did it. Only thing we had close to bodybuilding was powerlifting. And I started powerlifting right out of high school. And kind of like fell in love with that and had a lot of fun with it, you know, and it was kind of like a hobby for me, you know. And once I got to Metroflex, Brian, like, yeah, you pretty big guy, you compete. No, Brian, I just, you know, work out.
Just love lifting heavy weight, man.
I love lifting heavy weight. You know, I actually just did a deadlift competition where I did like 725 deadlift. And, you know, it was way back when I, you know, just getting started right out of college, you know.
Yeah.
I was still pretty strong and getting stronger every day. And I like, you look like you are probably win world champion, Mr. Olympia or something.
Yeah.
With that physique you got. I'm like, no, Brian, I just work out, you know, for fun and enjoy it. Like, man, you need to compete. I was telling them, no, I don't want to compete because, you know, I actually hired on at the police department. And I just got turned loose. So I was in my first year. So, you know, a lot of probation, they can fire you for anything.
Sure, I imagine
probation.
anything. Yeah.
And there ain't nothing you can do about it. And I'm like, no, Brian, I don't want to compete. Because I heard them guys take drugs. And like, oh, man, you wouldn't have to do that. I'm like, no, thanks. You know, I like eating hamburgers, and which what I like loved eating was hamburgers and fried chicken and stuff like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I don't think I can do no diet because I like eating what I like eating.
Yeah.
He's like, hi. And then a couple days go by, he's like, man, he wasn't about to give up on me. Like, man, you really need to compete. He's like, I tell you what, I give you a free membership to the gym and you compete.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, like, man, free membership. I wouldn't have to pay nothing. Oh yeah, I can do that.
That's amazing. That's such a cool story.
The whole time I was really doing it, I never thought about being Mr. Olympia or nothing. You know, I'm thinking, okay, I'm here doing it, getting this free membership. And, you know, anytime I get into something, I'm always going to give it my all.
Yeah.
You know, that's who I am, you know.
Yep.
I want to do the best I possibly can do because I ain't too much into second place.
No, man. Hey, I feel you. I feel you on that.
So I'm always going to give it my all. And bodybuilding was no different. I never thought about being Mr. Olympia. I never thought about winning it or nothing. I'm thinking, you know, all I got to do is, you know, compete and I get this free membership.
God, that's so cool, man. That's so cool. Look, well, I will say this. I think I speak for a lot of people in saying I'm glad that he enticed you into doing that because the story that you've been able to write with that is incredible, you know?
Yeah, kind of way I look at it, like everything happens for a reason, you know?
Yep.
And God has a way of using other people to get you to do certain things.
Absolutely. Steer that path a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Steer you to the path that he wants you to go down.
Yeah.
Because I never, ever wanted to be a bodybuilder. Never, ever. And when I was in high school, I was playing football. And I'm like, man, I think I can make it to the pros.
Yeah.
So I went to college, played 4 years there, and talked to some scouts, you know, and one was telling me, I think we can get you drafted. You keep looking the way you're looking. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm about to make it to the pros. It's all good.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting injured.
And that was a back injury, right? With
football? Well, yeah. It was a back injury because I had to go to the chiropractor like for a while it was every day. And then he started sending me every other day, something like that. But I did a lot of chiropractic, and people don't know that. They think I hurt my back, you know, bodybuilding, but I actually hurt it playing football.
That's what I thought, right? Like it kind of stemmed from there.
Yeah. And it just got worse over time.
Sure. Well, it's just like you said, it's wear and tear. Like the body, you know, you put it through a lot, but you know, getting into that. I know you mentioned the eating part of it. once you started competing in bodybuilding, how hard was that shift for you with the eating? Like to actually go to that diet where you're eating chicken breasts and like really, really bland food to be ready to go. Was that hard?
It was extremely hard at first. I ain't gonna lie, and then after a while, I kind of got used to it because like I said, I don't like getting second out.
No, so that your mindset, like going through it, were you thinking with every one of those meals? Because I would imagine the way I would look at it is like, all right, I'm doing this to win.
Exactly.
So everything is to win.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like I'm going to train to win. I'm
do
going
what I
to
got to do to win.
Yeah.
So if I got to eat that to win, well,
so it didn't matter.
Do it.
It didn't matter what it tasted like.
No, it didn't matter.
That's
because I remember one time I was eating tuna out of the can. It was like, I never in a million years thought I'd do something like that.
Yes.
Well, here I am.
So I used to do, when I was in college, I couldn't afford anything, and I would do tuna shakes. That's what I would do. So I would mix a little bit of orange juice and like 2 cans of tuna and blend it and drink it.
Yeah.
It was pretty gross.
Yeah. That's pretty bad right there.
Yeah. But the way I looked at it, it had some carbs in it from the orange juice.
Yeah.
And it had protein, and I could get those cans of tuna if I bought them like 10 at a time for, I don't know, 40 cents a piece, right? And so I could get my protein in because I couldn't afford anything else. So but tuna out of the can is rough.
Tuna out of the can is rough.
Yes.
Real hard.
That's awesome, man.
But like I said, you gotta do what you gotta do to not get sicker.
Yeah. Was there ever a point where you felt like, all right, I'm a bodybuilder? Like, was it after you won the Olympia or leading up to it? Like,
probably after I won the Olympia.
After you won.
Yeah. That's when I was like, okay.
You embraced it.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I am.
This is real.
Yeah. Because I imagine as you got into it and you started doing some of those lower shows and building up, people probably started talking like, hey, Ronnie's like, he's good. He's real good. I would imagine there was some chatter, and then the magazines probably were like, all right, we're going to write some articles and, that kind of thing. Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like people, I would imagine people kind of started hyping you up like as you're coming up, right?
Yeah, as I was coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. So once you got into the sport, was there any other guys that you looked at and were like, all right, like, was it like a Dorian or a Flex Wheeler or like any of those guys where it's like, hey, I
remember seeing Flex at some shows and he was guest posing with me. I'm like, man, that guy's big.
Yeah.
I don't think I can get that big.
Sure.
But
then you were bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But you just coming up,
Yeah.
They already had, where I was trying to get to.
Yes. Yep.
And I didn't never think I'd get there because, that's not what I wanted to do,
Yep.
I'm just doing this for the free membership.
That's so crazy.
'Cause I got a job. I'm working full-time police department.
Yeah.
And then I had, part-time job making extra money. So
Yes.
I had everything I needed. I had insurance. The police department got the best insurance there.
Yep.
So I'm like, hey, I got it made.
Yeah.
What more do I need?
Because
free membership.
Yeah. Now, when you got into it, winning the Olympia, what did that pay back then? Was it like
110?
110.
Yeah.
So when you won the Olympia, was that like insane to get that? Like it was like, wow, all I'm doing is training and competing in bodybuilding. Now I get paid this.
Yeah, pretty much it was kind of like, this is big money here.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I would imagine that
big
probably drove you harder, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you got hooked in, you're like, all right, I'm good at this. And now when you won that first, so let me ask you this. At that point, did you feel like you could get to a point where nobody was going to beat you? Like after that first one?
I didn't feel I was going to get there. What I was thinking of, man, I'm Mr. Olympia. I want to be Mr. Olympia again next year.
Yes.
And then next year, every time you win, I want to win this again.
Yeah.
Again. So you, like you say, you pushing yourself harder and harder.
Did you feel pressure, or was it just wanting to win?
No, I didn't feel no pressure. It was just wanting to win.
I'm going to show up and be better.
I know what the formula is. All I got to do is just keep doing it.
Execute it. Yeah.
And so I felt like as long as I could do what I need to do, I was gonna be all right.
Yeah. But I would imagine.
Every year.
I would imagine your confidence grew though, right?
A whole lot.
Because as you're winning, because you're walking back, I won again. And like you said, I think you just said it right there. It's like, hey, if I execute the formula, I know what I'm going to bring.
Exactly.
And all these guys are chasing me.
Exactly.
You know.
So I know I got the formula, and all I got to do is keep applying it.
Yeah.
And I should get the same result.
Did you
pretty much
ever,
what I did?
what was the hardest thing that you had to overcome, like adversity wise? Was there any of the preps where there was a big, nothing big adversity, or maybe even before you won?
No.
Nothing crazy.
No, it was never nothing crazy because
like you never pulled a muscle or felt like you were trying to work around something.
No,
that's amazing.
No, sure didn't. It was like for the most part, I got this thing that I got a whole lot of passion for.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing it, and therefore I look forward to doing it each and every single day.
Sure.
Actually, I had two things I had a lot of passion for. Working for the police department and bodybuilding. And you know, when they say you got a lot of passion for something, you really never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like it was for me. When I was in the gym, I look forward to being in the gym. When I was out there on the street, I look forward to being out there on the streets working, for the police department.
Well, I remember watching some of your old training DVDs, right? And you were out there working.
Yep.
How long did you stay as a police officer? Because you stayed a police officer after you won the Olympia, right?
Yeah. I think I had that by the time I got to my third one.
Yeah.
The demand for travel and got too much for me to be able to take off so much.
Sure.
And they needed somebody there.
Was the department pretty? I would imagine they were pretty accommodating of what you needed.
The chief that hired me said, as long as I qualified with the gun and did law updates, I could do whatever I wanted to do.
That's
all I had to do was that.
Did they custom make your
Everything.
uniforms?
Everything.
I remember, because those videos, man, like I remember you strapping those uniforms on, and I was like, that's got to be custom.
Yep.
It's got to be custom.
Pants, shirt, vest, everything was custom made.
That's so cool.
The city had their own tailor, so I just go to city tailor. And
Yeah.
say, hey, I need these.
Just make it happen.
Yeah.
They
did it.
One of the things I thought to myself, right? Like if you're pulling somebody over or having to go talk to somebody about something, right? What was the most interesting reaction that you ever got? Or like was there something where people just immediately listened because of your size and stature?
Yeah, normally when I pulled up and got out of the car and they saw me,
it was like, all right, I'm good. My hands are where you can see them.
Yeah. Everything's okay. We ain't doing nothing here.
I love it, man. Yeah, that's I would imagine that would be the response you would get
every single time.
That's awesome. That's all. Did you ever have to get into any kind of altercation?
Never.
Never. See, that's
I was
great.
always looking forward to getting into some.
Yeah, I would see. That's the thing is, I would imagine, man, and like the respect level. Like I have an enormous amount of respect for police officers and what they do and what they have to do every day.
Yep.
It's not easy.
Nope.
Right. And the fact that like it's really neat to have you sit here and say like I loved it that much.
I loved it.
That to go out there and do it.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Tremendously, and I still miss it today.
Is that awesome?
Yep.
Yeah.
I would like to say, when you got passion for something, you look forward to doing it.
Yeah. I mean, has it bothered you at all? Like what, it's kind of the world I feel like has shifted a little bit for whatever reason, and I don't like it. Like with respect to police officers,
Yeah, I guess because I'm not out there and having to deal with it, so I really don't know what it's like.
Sure.
I can only know what it's like when I was doing it. So,
which makes sense. It's
Yeah.
like I know for me, like anytime I can talk to those guys and like be around them, it's like, hey, you know what? I like to say thank you
yeah.
for what they do, because
Yeah.
it's not easy. And
No,
like
it's not
like
easy.
people should have that amount of respect,
Yep.
and walk around with that. That's how I
Exactly.
feel, at least. So it's, you would demand the respect, and you didn't even need to say anything,
Exactly.
which is beautiful.
Well, I had it made.
Yes. That's good. So
made it that much more fun for me.
yeah. So you were going through it, and like you're saying, man, you're living your dream.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Isn't that
That's
crazy?
what I was doing. And the thing about it is, I never wanted to be a police officer either.
Because you wanted to be an accountant, right?
Exactly.
You
And
wanted-
the things I never wanted to do, I ended up doing both of them and loving them.
Isn't that crazy? Well, that goes back to what you're saying about the path, right?
Exactly.
Like your path, and you go where
what I
you
get
wanna
ready
go.
to say.
Yeah.
We were not put here to do what we wanted to do. We were pretty much put here to do what God wanted us to do.
Yeah. Well, think about. I mean, what
And that's the way it's gonna be.
the neat part of that is, truly think about how many people you've been able to touch,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
Like, because you didn't know me back then.
Nope.
Like, and I'm some kid just popping in a DVD,
Yep.
but I could see the discipline that you put into what you were doing. So it was like this battle, and I always loved it. It was like you and Jay, right? Like
Yeah.
you and Jay going
Mhm.
back and forth. And I was like, man, look at these guys. Like they're going into this, battle together, right? And you're putting your work in, and it was always, that's what drew me into it, was like the discipline,
Yep.
right? Because I was like, all right,
Yep.
like I like working hard.
Yep.
I like discipline, and I want to be able to get somewhere too,
Yep. Yep.
So it's kind of like you, in so many different ways. And I said this to Jay too. Like, I don't think you guys realize like how many people you impacted out, right?
No, I have
and
no clue.
it's neat. Like,
So to see it all these years later, though.
yeah,
Me and Jay, we signed. We took photos with people at the Arnold this year,
okay,
and we did it for like 2 hours straight.
that's awesome.
And I'm like, wow, I never knew.
Yes. See, it's what's
Never
cool though
knew
is
until now.
yeah, like it's neat, man. It's like to be able to do that, and I'd imagine to hear those stories,
Mm-hmm.
like it's special.
Yep,
right?
yep,
Like it's
exactly.
I mean, I literally just got this thing today, and this is a 7-year-old that has had cancer since he was 2,
Mm-hmm.
and he puts on one of my hats
Oh yeah.
every time he goes in for a checkup because it makes him strong. Like it literally almost makes me want to cry. Like it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I never knew that.
Yeah.
And that's the same impact like you have on people in the world, that all just through doing what you loved
Yeah.
and being passionate about
Yep.
it, which is, it's incredible. I mean, it's mind blowing, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Like it's incredible, man. Like
Yep.
you've built something really special,
Yep. Exactly.
So going into the Olympia, how you feeling? This, like, do you have a favorite
Yeah.
or a couple favorite? I know it's hard to pick. Like,
Yeah. I went ahead and picked Derek because he looked pretty good last year, and every year you're gonna get better.
yeah,
And, like I said, nothing never stays the same.
yeah.
So, for that reason, I'm picking him.
Derek Lunsford. Okay.
Yeah.
No pressure. No pressure. Only Ronnie Coleman. Throwing your name out there, man. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
It's fun.
It's gonna be a real good show because you got Derek, you got Honey that won last year.
Yeah.
Then you got Samson that
He's big too, right? Like what was your like on stage weight? You were like in the 290s,
Yeah,
right?
295 was my heaviest one on stage, but I don't know. It's gonna be real tight between those three guys, I think.
So you're saying maybe Samson top 3?
Yeah, I think if he can look anything like he did to Arnold,
He'll
I
be
think
sharp.
Yeah, I think he'll be up there.
It'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting because I'd imagine he'll probably be over 300 on stage, right? I think somebody said he was maybe 297 last year.
Yeah, because like I say, he's 6'2". I'm 5'10", 5'10 and a half.
So naturally he would have to be
he
to
gonna
have that appearance.
Yeah. Because he's working with a lot more height. harder to feel that out, you know.
Yeah.
When you that tall.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think somebody said, I could be wrong on that, but it was like around that upper 290s on stage last year. But that just goes to show.
You have to be in order to compete with them guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember walking out, like I came to my first Olympia, and you walking out and Jay walking out was just different.
Yeah.
Like you both were just so much bigger.
Yeah.
So much bigger. And then it was like the comparisons, and I was like, all right, man, this is like, it's just a different animal. You know what I'm saying? That was cool, bro. I will never forget that. So I'm sure it's neat for you to go back and watch it, but like,
yeah, exactly.
All those guys having that respect for you is cool, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's neat, man. That's neat. Well, I could probably sit here and talk to you all night, man. But
Oh yeah.
I know you got things to do, and I really appreciate your time, like sitting down, having us in. This is it's
no
cool.
problem. It's all
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah, buddy.
I appreciate you, man.
No
Appreciate you for
problem.
sure. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that. Make sure you check Ronnie out if you have not, man. He's just a great dude. So
Yeah, buddy.
appreciate all you. Love all you. Hope you're doing well. For now, going to be great. We'll check you guys later.